the original post, when all I see is mold. And when I did it in there, I left it in another room, and I had some out here. There was just mold everywhere. I eventually reused that soil because I know how to fix it stuff. But in the interim, it was literally like mold fibers everywhere, hyphae, little mycelium mats everywhere.
Oh, no. You act.
Yeah, you and your germs, you went over the winter. I did it. Somewhat. Fight me if you want to. But there are some plants that, again, just need that period to have a more of a time to just kind of chill out and breathe versus being for a long time. But here, I'm good. It depends on several things. Again, we keep talking about environment, right? So it depends on what you're growing in. So like if your mix is a mix that'll hold water more or lets water out, then okay, you got to be careful. If this is like, if I take a node, a single rooted node, okay, so like one of these little sections of this pothos here, if I just took that and put it in a 20-inch pot and watered it fully, then yeah, it's 95. So yeah, 100 is like real up there. But y'all can check those numbers on me if you want to. But 40 is like, God, a plant this small in a pot this big, that's a lot. You're asking that plant to really take up a lot of space. We ain't gonna want to do that, all right?
Yeah.
And now you got to try to backtrack, and that's what I tell people: backtrack. What changed in the last week? Nothing. That's a lie. Something had to have changed. Okay. Her house has a couple of areas where it would be good to put it in, but it doesn't get, those areas don't have good light, and the areas that have good light have grass. And this plant doesn't water in to basically wash out any empty space is now filled with water, and then that's going to empty out, and then the plant's going to be good. In typical soil or a leca situation, you need some type of air for that nutrient exchange. Yeah. I've now overwatered a pot that has no holes, and it's now like drowning. So I now have had it where either those that have no holes, I'll have them in the nursery pot. I could see, because it was a white pot, so it's a white ceramic pot, and these were black nursery pots, and they were small enough where I could see the gap and just by default remember, you were in the, I would just try to water it in the pot. It didn't work for me. So I would say, if some people love pots with no drainage and they do the nursery pot thing, and that's gorgeous. Some of us are like, and make my pots have holes. I'm like, I feel like $1 million now, but I've gotten more accustomed to being like, okay, and don't buy the pots with the holes, without the holes. Or again, a nursery pot, a regular plastic pot, you have it in there, one of these like this, until the summer, where I know I can leave. I'm just going to be hot. If I'm going on a trip, it's going to be hot. I water everything, water that one heavy. It's going to be hot in here. I cut off the AC. By the time I get back, and I have big enough hands where I could just put it over the pot and turn it over.
Nice.
But not everybody has hands these times. So I say give it, again, if you are really dead set on it. I know some of you are like, I just don't want saucers, all this stuff. Again, nursery.
That's for last. We're talking about propagation and wet sticks. I know wet sticks. You love wet sticks.
Oh God, I can't stand them.
Wet sticks.
A wet stick.
So, if there's such a thing as a spent node, and they want to know that, will my wet stick turn into a plant, or am I being scammed?
So when you are getting a wet stick, typically, actually, I have one I can show off. It looks almost like yours may have had a node, or even the dirt that a wet stick was once in. So these you can get they're like, this grew a Thai constellation, and they were selling it for $50. When I say like, it is like Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Because you could possibly propagate this and be good, even if it has a node. These are I can't use that name anymore. These are wandering dudes. There we go. Almost slipped up here.
Transcantions.
Right, transcantions. I was like, I was like, dude, when the people know the genus, I know you would. But when the people know the genus, these are purple queens or itch players.
Simple epipremnum golden ivy.
Of course it's that big. Y'all
have you not seen this?